Well, welcome to the greenhouse. I thought I would go through some of what we love and things that we needed to improve when it comes to this greenhouse from Lowe's. All in all, it's been a really great greenhouse once we did some accommodations for our 30 to 40 mile an hour wind here in Alpine, California. We have so many things growing in here after just 4 weeks, and overall, I think it was about under $2,000 for the footings, the greenhouse, and building the tables out, which isn't too bad considering what you could have spent to just get a structure. So this is the Lowe's greenhouse. We did the 8x16. Bigger is better when it comes to a greenhouse. It's already full. We're already saying we need more space. So we'll walk through a little bit about how we built the greenhouse, what we did to weatherproof it, how we tied it down. You'll see different videos over different times over the last 4 weeks. And then we'll end with a tour of what's growing in the greenhouse. Oh, we're making progress. Rain, there's no wind tonight, so we can secure this thing down. A lot of pieces. Okay, now we are windproofing because the storm happens to be coming tonight. So what we're doing, let me show you. He's taking it, putting silicone.
Yeah, this is not a fun part.
Siliconing all these outside panels because the panels actually can have water come down them the way it's developed. So another fun piece of this awesome greenhouse. If you want it to withhold 40 to 50 mile an hour winds every now and then, consistently 20 to 30, you must strap it down, which we're going to do next, over the top, anchor it down on either side, and then silicone everything. Okay, one good lesson of what not to do with your greenhouse. Take the white plastic off before you install it, or this is your future, which we are now dealing with on the entire greenhouse.
Was I supposed to read the instructions?
Did someone read the instructions?
Most of them.
Most of them.
All right, so we are going to build a table today. It looks just like that one in there. Pretty simple, pre-cut everything. This is a 6-foot table. The side pieces are exactly 6 feet. These side pieces over here, or the end pieces, are I think 26 and a half. All 5 pieces, so you got 2 on the ends and then 3 in the middle. And then the pressure treated 4x4s are exactly 36 inches tall. So we're gonna do the first thing and put this bottom frame together, screw it to the legs, and then we'll put the center ones in.
Totally easy. The beauty of this one is it is the size of a folding table. So just taller. I wanted it at waist high on 5'4", so that way I didn't have to bend over. But I can take it out when I have events and take it out into the yard and use it for bouquet making or whatever we feel like. So it's got a lot of storage underneath. So this is a 6 foot by 30 foot.
Now we are putting the center braces in. Again, the table's 6 feet, so we did 18 inches, 36 inches, 54 inches, so they're spread out perfectly. The other thing to note is on the ends of the 6-footers, we actually use the countersink bit because when you're screwing in towards the end, we don't want it to split. So we countersunk those before we put our screws in, and then the rest of them, they were fine because they're in the middle of the wood. We used 2.5 inch screws for the 2x4 to 2x4 and 3-inch screws from the 2x4 into the 4x4s.
This is really a 2-person job. Make sure you get a nice firm wide mesh hold. You using the T50 1/2 inch all the way around. We trim the back side so that it's similar to the front with 1.5 inches. Fold that over and put a finishing strip. And add it into the greenhouse. So your finished product has no way to snag because you've got a nice finishing strip. So you just count it down, staple it down one more time, and you are ready to start growing. Look at these little baby eucalyptus. Cutest. All right, what's growing in the greenhouse? We've got some rosemary we're trying, but these baby eucalyptus, oh my gosh, they're so cute. Trying some lavender, slow to germinate. Different kinds of straw flower. These are all stock. Buttercream and apricot and pink. Queen Anne's. It's new for me this year. Some rudbeckia, some more straw flower. Don't mind that one. The dog decided to step on that one on the old rack. And then this is all snaps. So this is the first succession, and we've got some apple blossom and some butterfly, some rocket. Exciting stuff happening in the greenhouse. And a bunch of succulent babies that are gonna propagate. So I wanted to show you the greenhouse now, 1 month later. We have had over 1.5 inches of rain today, consistent 25 to 30 mile an hour winds. We're a little bit sheltered in here, but we have anchored with these anchor kits, and then we put the cable over the top, which has held it in place, and we have siliconed around the top and the sides here and here to help. You can see we just had hail, so there's hail on top of it right now. But this has really helped to save the greenhouse. We have had consistent rain and wind since we put it up over a month ago, and no damage so far. It's really held together with these anchor kits. You can get these through Home Depot, or you can get them through Amazon actually, and we just bolted it right into the frame, put it over the top. The challenge that we did find was the doors have no secure way once they're open, so they can flap, so the winds are stopped for the minute. I cannot do this if it's got any kind of wind because the doors can just rip off. So you can see right now that they just closed, so we're working on figuring out a better system for that. And when you're on the inside, you can see now it's a little busy in here. We've got a lot going on as we're getting the farm going, but the tables are working great. We have added, there's no inside latch, so the doors can just reopen on their own with any wind. So we did a little latch so when you're inside you can lock it so they don't blow open. And we also added a latch, a little $3 latch at the top and the bottom of the door, so that way one door would always stay locked. We included this little heater, which has been awesome. It's consistently keeping it right around 60. You can see we're at 57 because it's 40 outside right now. And the tables are working great. You can see we have a lot of plants that we're growing right now. We had a double heat mat under here, but it was too hot under there, so we had to put one back in the garage as a grow room. But you can see here that things are going really well. We added the exhaust fans. This is solar, so there's really no power required for that. We just have it sitting here on the counter. This other solar one that you see over here are the lights. So it's pretty nifty to be able to not have to use energy. So we just have these solar lights, market lights from Costco. And I just included a little fan up top that I can move around if I need airflow down here for seed germination or airflow over here on the plants. We purchased 2 of the automatic vent openers, drilled some holes to get them to adhere. We actually had to put it into the polycarbonate. We were concerned about this with the wind, about could you manually close it, but you can manually close it and lock it down. So that's what we've done, because we can have hot days here in San Diego with high winds where we are up towards the mountains. And so this is part of what we have to do to make sure that those don't take flight. So both of them, and these have been great. They just automatically open and close as they need to for the 70-degree weather. Fun propagations. And this is why we built it. So we can have thousands of plants out in our field in a couple of months. Okay, so we have had 2 inches of rain today and the greenhouse is full. So I thought I would just spend a couple of minutes going through what we have growing in the greenhouse, because there are things everywhere on the floor, all the way through. It's a little messy, but it's a greenhouse. It is not a staged area that is made for beauty. It is made for growing plants. And so we are in zone 9B here in San Diego, and this has been working out perfectly. So we have some stock, which is desperate to get outside. It's been hardening up, and unfortunately we lost some. It's been raining like crazy, and so we just haven't been able to get them out. So another succession of stock here. Trialing soil blocks. It's my first year doing soil blocks, so we're figuring that out. So those are some zinnias I was playing around with. More stock in the back. All these beautiful zinnias. Let's see, we have some chocolate lace flower. More zinnias. We are growing on about 1/8 of an acre here for ours, so we have over 1,600 plants growing between the veggies and all of the seeds. These are bells of Ireland. For some reason, hit or miss in this greenhouse. The edges all seem to go and the centers don't want to, so you'll see that pretty consistently. But again, trialing in air with heat, but these are starting to look great. And these were just sown on, let's see, 216. So things are looking pretty good for those. Snapdragons. Oh, they're my favorite flower. They're just so finicky. So lots of snapdragons here as well, still popping up. All different kinds. That's the sunrise mix. And then we have a lot more on the seed mats. Let's see. We have some status. Looking a little dry there. Lots of celosia. These are going to be divided out into some more cells here. As you can tell with these tiny little seeds, it's easy to overseed celosia. Zinnias. I just planted these on 311 and they were so desperate to come up, they got leggy really fast, so we will see what happens with those. These are all geraniums here, and you can see in here the trash truck, which is fun. So all these beautiful geraniums, every single one of them came up, which I am so excited about, to have so many geraniums in the yard. Some regular basil for the garden. Let's see, what do we have here? We're getting a little leggy. Calendula, which is the first time growing that. I'm not sure about it. It looks really beautiful, but leave your review, because a lot of people say they hate it for its stickiness. So it might just be a trap crop for me to have out here, so that way we can let all the bugs go to the bright orange giant flowers and stay away from my vegetables and dahlias. Some hollyhocks, those are really pretty. I got those from Baker's Creek with the calendulas. We're early in the season for sunflowers, but I thought it would be a good trial. And this tray actually came up really nicely. They really want heat, and we have not had heat. We've had a lot of rain. So these are some plum sunflowers, some white ones and orange ones, and I don't have the date on those, but it's been a couple weeks. This tray did not do great. We had high heat in the greenhouse one day, and they kind of just stalled out, and then they all dried out. So, you know, sunflowers are cheap. You can get a lot of them. We have some veggies going. We've got some lettuce and some beans, and the squash are just so fun. They are taking over my favorite filler, basil. So we have lemon basil in the front, which is new this year, and the cinnamon basil, and we could not get enough of that last year. These are going to be hibiscus plants. Super excited about those, but they have a long germination. And again, some more trialing with soil blocks. Some of them work, some of them don't. In the back we have zinnias, some more stalk, bumping up celosia. Everything needs some watering because it's been raining all day. We haven't been out here yet. Cosmos, those jumped up fast. Those were just done not even 5 days ago. This is an entire tray of asters. Haven't done asters before, so it seems like we've got some germination, but like everything, we get half trays in here. So figuring out the temperature right now. Again, it's raining outside, 71 in here, 77% humidity because of all the rain. So then we have some more lemon basil. I just divided these out, and cinnamon basil, and so excited about all these beauties. Cannot wait. So lots of fun things. And then we have everything on the ground. So tomato plants. We have more tomato plants. Dahlia seeds. These cosmos are looking amazing. They're really, really nice. Some more cosmos, more dahlias. The eucalyptus is looking amazing. These are not normally here, so don't forget about the wires. It's just because it's raining. We can't have things outside. More dahlia seeds. And then, as I showed you before, this is where we have the thermostat. So 63 on the thermostat. Not bad in here. We have the heat set to 54 at night, so that way it's not too hot, not too cold, because it does seem to hold pretty well. So all in all, and then we have more down here. This heat mat, I had two. It was too much heat, so it was scorching them. So one went back in the garage on the seed with the grow lights, and one works great. I unplug it during the day, I keep the light on, and I only plug the heat in at night because it gets enough heat in here, so you don't have to run the heat mat during the day. It's always at least 60, and then the sun comes in through the back and hits that. So this tray was just done on 4 days ago. So this is all zinnias from 4 days ago. They love it. And then this is new. These are little baby bee balm. So those are fun. And then this is just all different veggies, so, or herbs, spinach, bell peppers, dill, mint, and oregano. They're all starting to come up. You can see all the green in there, so those are kind of fun. So they're just sitting in here under the light. We just have one shop light in here now. We had two, but we didn't need it. So this little bench is really nice to have the extra storage underneath. And then the fan. So I hope that this review really helps you to make a decision on what greenhouse works best for you. I know there were lots of reviews about it blowing away, and we have had great success. So we even had the rain and wind yesterday, and these guys were open because it was a warm storm, and they open and close once it's 70 degrees. So definitely Amazon, buy the automatic openers for your vents, or you will regret it. And here's the fun part of we're growing coffee. We have a podcast, Lead with Coffee, on leadership, And we have a love of coffee, to own a coffee, and desire to own a coffee farm one day. So why not figure out how to grow coffee in our greenhouse? And here's our first coffee beans. Really fun. Enjoy your garden.